without flashlights, and then when it gets full of darkness, you're with flashlights. There's a theory on each one of them. If you run into the kind of folks that say, oh, the problem with you guys is, after all, most gunfights happen at night. Yeah. You guys always use the sights. Yeah. Wow. What do you do in the dark? Okay, Fred. Let me explain it to you. Just because most gunfights occur in the hours of darkness doesn't mean they occur in the dark, do they? It's real hard to get in a gunfight in the dark. Come on. Get in a gunfight in reduced light, yes. Get in a gunfight in the dark, I doubt if anybody's ever been in a gunfight in the dark.
Total dark.
Dark means dark. Nothing to see. It's blackout. You're standing out here and there's full moon. Is it dark? No. Nighttime. You're in your house and it's nighttime outside. Your lights are on your house. Is it dark? No. So, you just need to ease up on that deal. Now, what you can, however, and we're going to find out here directly, is find yourself in a circumstance in which it is light enough for you to see your target and identify it. Remember our little safety rule? But it is not light enough to clearly distinguish your sights. And that is a little window of light which lasts for about 20 or 30 minutes at the end of the day. And it's certainly a window of light that you can find yourself in an urban setting where you can see your opponent, but you cannot distinguish your sights. You can kind of see the back of your hand, the top of your gun, but you can't go front sight, line it up with the rear sight. Well, gosh, how do we hit then? We hit the exact same way we've been hitting. How is that? Well, at fairly close range, when was the last time in this class that you drew your gun and did not come up with your sights on target at 7 yards? Doesn't happen, okay? Remember, you can't put 9 in a set of 8. Anyway, this doesn't happen. So if you have gotten your draw to the point, which most of you pretty much have, that you can close your eyes when you're handed your pistol, come up, drop your hammer, open your eyes, look at your sights, and your sights are on target, you would have hit if it was dark out, wouldn't you? You bet. And you'll find that out. Now, the quality of your ability to do that relates directly to the quality of your firing stroke. If we did this dusk shooting bit tomorrow night, people would do better than they'll do on it tonight. It's not administratively feasible to make people stand around here till 9:30 on Sunday, but you do better at it. The better your draw, the better you'll do at this. If you're somebody that has a draw where you come up and you've got to fuss around with your gun and fix things and then shoot, guess what, gang? When you shoot in the dark, you can't hit because you don't have any visual reference to use to fix it. If, however, you draw in the manner we've been trying to get you to draw, which is you lock your eye on target, and you have a draw that puts your sights dead still between your eye and the target, it'll put your sights dead still between your eye and the target, whether or not you can see the sights. And if you're able to manipulate the trigger without disturbing that sight alignment, in other words, carefully manipulate the trigger with your press surprise brake, you will hit. In fact, you'll surprise yourself at how well you can hit. So I wouldn't worry about it a whole lot. At some point here, unless it's tonight a full moon night, I don't think it is. I think it's a no moon night.
I don't know. No, it's not.
Not what?
It's not a full moon.
Yeah. So it'd be pretty dark. This thing blows out if it's a full moon because you'll have enough light from those targets to still see your sights. In any event, at some point there, it gets dark enough that you cannot use your sights. You cannot identify your target. And if it's so dark that you cannot identify your target, the party line is you shouldn't shoot that target. It's immoral, okay? And so in that circumstance, you need to add light, okay? Now, this flashlight technique business we do used to be magical, and everybody went, wow, about 10 years ago. Today it's old hat, so I don't have everybody going, wow, much anymore. But in any event, in the good old days of shooting in the dark with flashlights, we were taught that you hold your gun here and your flashlight out like this. And the reason for that is that Odious Caverill Jackson III is going to see that light and shoot the light. Hence, if you have the light in front of your body, he's going to hit it right here and drive it through your sternum, just like Friday the 13th, Well, okay. First of all, I never figured out if Odious Caverill Jackson III is a particularly good shot. What if he just always misses to the side? You're right. But, I don't know. The problem with it is that I see is twofold. One is it's harder in hell for you to hit anything like that. You got the light out here. You never practiced that. You got the light out here. You got your gun here. You're trying to line all this stuff up. Nothing. Secondly, and I'll show you when it gets dark, if you light the light up here, it lights you up. You got to do that. Well, now we're starting to get into this, okay? Otherwise, you're not helping yourself in it. And the third thing is we hope you don't just doo-dah down the street with your flashlight on. You think bad guys are out there, okay? And I'll show you some of that when it gets a little darker here. But the notion is that your light ought to not be on for very long, and then when you turn it off, you ought to not be where you were in the great world of flashlight war. But in any event, the flashlight technique that we use was invented by a guy named Mike Harries in Southern California many, many years ago. Southwest Pistol League ran a night shoot with flashlights. And this guy's standing there waiting to shoot, kind of, dicking around with his flashlight and his pistol. Back in the good old days, if when you could dick around with your gun on the range without getting the wrath of Nader upon you. And he's kind of messing around. He's, doing around. He goes, it's like this, right? And he's kind of doing something. He says, wait a second. Hey. Cool it real quick. I don't want anybody to see that. Yeah, I'm ready. Whack, whack, whack. And suddenly he's winning the match by a lot. What he did was he turned the flashlight and held it backwards the way you normally hold a flashlight. Baby finger toward the ball, thumb toward the bat. Okay? Then he essentially gets into a weaver stance, straight right arm, bent left elbow the whole bit, locks his wrists together. But the important thing is that the beam and the bore of your gun are coaxial. So wherever your flashlight is pointed, your sights are pointed. In fact, within reason, you could almost just kind of shoot the gun. And your bullet's going to be within that beam of light. That ain't the way to do this, though. But anyway, it's a pretty good deal. So our drill with the flashlight, not anything we're going to draw into, but our drill with the flashlight is going to be one of up, safety goes off, there goes the trigger, light on, front sight, press, light out, down. It's a simple deal. And I think you'll be surprised at how easy that is to do. Now, I've got to tell you that most women, not most by a lot, but maybe 60% of the gals that try to do this flashlight technique find it hurts tremendously in their wrist. Their left wrist will ache. And if you're in that category, you just need to tough it out and shut up. But, no, for some reason, and I don't know why that is, but a lot of gals are just going, and something hits them wrong in doing that. And I've never had a guy do it, and I don't know why that is, but it may bug you. In any event, it works pretty good. The bit with the light probably gets overdone a bit. The notion that you should go out hunting for the noise of the night with your flashlight is probably not a very good one. A kid, my child bride, used to have this notion that, noise out there, go check it out. You got your pistol? Yeah. You go check it out. This went on for a while. Anyway, I said, look, let me explain how this deal works. I give her the standard little spiel. She doesn't believe me. Okay. Put on a motorcycle helmet. Here, put tape around face shield so the BB can't get into her face. Okay. You get the light. You get the gun. You can put the light on me before I can see you. I won't shoot you with this pellet rifle. I'm ready. Turn all the lights in the house. I got a living room somewhere. Got to stand in the middle of the living room, pointed at the door. She opens the bedroom door. Pop! That's not there. You knew where I was going to be. Right. Okay. I won't do that this time. Let's try it again. I get out somewhere else now. Light. Well, she's got to come. There's only one way to get there from here. Sooner or later. It's not there. Getting the message. Now we'll make it even worse. Turn on all the lights. It's just bright out. You just thought you heard something out in the other half of the house. It didn't sound right at noon. Okay? Try it again. Sure. Walks down the hall. This time she's smarter. She ducks back. Gets out of the way. You can't win, gang. And we'll tell you the detail tomorrow. But the notion that you should go hunting around with your light for the bad guy doesn't wash. Cops do it all the time, but cops are not facing bad guys who are interested in killing them. If they were, they'd be dead, which is what always happens. Right? You you're putting yourself in a situation which you cannot win. Why can't you win it? Because instead of being the ambush-or, you are becoming the ambushee. And you do not have to go to West Point to know that you do not want to be the ambushee. You are tremendously badass. You might only lose 60% of your troops or whatever it is, And if there's one of you and it's your wife and your kids, you'd rather not lose 60% of them. At least until they're about 17 or 18, then it crosses your mind, huh? But anyway, so just don't do it. So you say, what do you do about the noise in the night? Well, sit still. Now, unless you have to go rescue somebody, and then you've got to put on the light scarf and do your thing. But short of that, if you're at home there, and I am a firm believer that every bedroom door has a lock on it. I mean a real lock. Bolt. So when you go to sleep at night, you bolt your door. Now, you can win. You hear somebody rummaging around out there, you going to go confront them? Well, if you're feeling sporting, okay. But if you're not feeling sporting about that, no. What do you do? Call idiot cops. Let them come to that. Their time. They ain't going to get there very fast, I'll tell you that. They don't want to do that deal. And depending. Now, you might get a warrior cop who thinks that's fun. But I wouldn't count on it. So what do? Well, you're sitting there in your bedroom, and you're just sure that somebody's out there. Fine. Got your gun? Of course you have your gun. How can they get into your bedroom? Through that door. Oh, great. Fine. Stay in bed. Get your book. Pour yourself a glass of water. You're laying there in your bed. You got the knees like so. You got the pistol like that. Aimed at the door. You're going to kill that son of a bitch. I don't care if it's Rob Leatham coming through that door. He just lost. You cannot lose. You might lose a stopping power battle. You feel pretty silly with 380. That's probably the one time, about the only time that a shotgun ever makes sense because you really got the turnoff factor. And at close range, shotguns across the street aren't worth a shit. But, from your bed to your bedroom door, a shotgun's going to hammer that son of a bitch about as hard as you can hammer it. So fine. Take your shotgun, got that thing, you got your little 1100 there, loaded up with 5 Brennicky rifled slugs, and you're going to pulp them. You might as well call Al's all-night carpet cleaner. But, should you open that door and go out? No. You just reverse the situation. See how that works? Anyway, think about that the next time you go sulking around in the dark after the noise. You cannot win. If you really think, I think I could. Now they've got these wonderful paintball guns with paint that can wash off. Go have a little household paintball war. And you will convince yourself that there are certain kinds of behavior that are silly. Now, if you're feeling frisky, I wouldn't go out the door. If I was feeling frisky, what I would do if I was convinced that there were people lurking in my house is I'd go out the window. And I'd go back outside the house and play Mr. Invisible and wait for them to leave the house. But that's if you're feeling frisky. If you're just into staying alive and you don't care if they get the family silver, blow that deal off. But stay put. Make it so you get to ambush them. They do not get to ambush you. Oh, that deal. I'll tell you, everybody kids about that. Occasionally some poor dumb son of a bitch actually does that. It looks real bad in front of the grand jury because don't think they can't figure that out. Now, if you're in some podunk town somewhere, they might kind of wink and nod you away. You're in the city of Dallas or the city of Austin. Oh, big time. I mean, just, unless you went and mowed your lawn real quick. What do you do? Please drive up. Yes, Mr. Smith was on his riding lawnmower going back and forth over a couple of spots. Then he watered, But anyway, anyway, enough said, but you got the idea there. In the ideal house, you have the sleeping quarters for everybody are separated from the rest of the house by a locked door. We are fortunate our house happened to be like that. Jeff was the guy that always got the dawn of that. The house he grew up in the history of that house, his parents didn't build it, they bought it, but twice in the history of the house, the door that separated sleeping compartments saved the occupants of the house. 100 years. They had a stairs, on the top of the stairs, a wrought iron gate, locked the gate at night. Twice in the history of the house, people were stopped at that gate and dispatched. A la Scarlett O'Hara. Boom! One less Yankee. But anyway, but if you can't afford to overhaul your house for it, a lock on your bedroom door is a good thing. If you've got little kids, of course, you got to go do the kamikaze routine. But, gotta do what you got to do. But now, if you're going to go do the kamikaze routine, there's kind of two ways to play it. You just don't know. If you're really sneaky and quiet, you can try the sneaky and quiet approach. Or you can try the Bruce Lee approach. and which one would work, I don't know. If you've ever tried to be sneaky and quiet, you sure do feel loud. And of course, if you're a really good shot, you might be able to pull the Bruce Lee thing off. By Bruce Lee thing, I mean moving very quickly, very positively. You don't go, hey, you, what are you doing there? It's, boom! Right now. Pull that off. You never know. How frisky you're feeling. But you are going to wish you'd practiced more at the range.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be the one time in life you wish you had your 44 mag instead of your 45.